Hello everyone. Today, I would like to take a break from talking about Pokemon and talk with you about the 90s. First, who here was born in the 90s? Me? Sit down, you were born in the 90s! I, however, was. The first thing that I would like to speak with you about is one of my favorite things that I grew up with in the 90s. It was Surge. That's right, Surge. If you guys haven't figured out what it was, go on Amazon, type in Surge, because you can buy it now. And it was one of my absolute favorite, well, it is one of my absolute favorite pastimes. I just remember buying it, drinking it, and injecting it. And so that, it was just great because it gave me, energy, and well, I don't know. I was like 10, maybe like 5, maybe 7, 8, maybe 10, something like that, when I started actually drinking it. It is a soda. It's not like it was like an energy drink or like alcohol. I mean, I did have my fair share of drinks when I was 10. But no, but it was a lot of fun because I think it cost about like $4 to $5 a can, if I remember correctly. And they discontinued it. That people weren't probably buying it, but now on Amazon you can go buy Surge. And I recommend all of you guys who are watching this to do so because it's just a great pastime. So the second thing that I want to discuss with you about the 90s is definitely Doritos. And no, I ain't talking about the Doritos today. I'm talking about 3D Doritos. 3D Doritos were the shit. They were the bee's knees. Well, to me anyways, because the bee's knees. Anyway, they were fabulous because they were 3D. They were a three-dimensional Dorito, filled with air, and they were the bomb. That was another thing that I grew up with in the 90s, the saying, the bomb. I'm not gonna do that anymore. But let's get this straight. 3D Doritos were the shit, and I want them to start making them again because they were absolutely great. If you didn't want to have like this full-size Dorito in your mouth, then you could have this little 3D Dorito that you could just toss up in the air, eat it, and it was such a great time. And I wanted to get a bag of those every single time I went grocery shopping with my mom. They're absolutely fantastic. So if you guys want to, at least try a pack of them, they don't really make them anymore, unfortunately. I'm sure you could like make a post or whatever, something to let people know that you want 3D Doritos as much as I do. I want them. I want them bad. Help me. And another thing I wanted to discuss is tricks. And no, not the tricks you guys have been eating. Nope, I'm talking about the tricks that actually have shapes. Just like mine. No, no. Tricks, though, were the best back then because they actually had shapes of like bananas. They had shapes of not strawberries, maybe raspberries, I'm not quite sure, but they actually had shapes. The tricks that you guys are eating are the little colorful balls that piss me off. Because you guys will never know how much of a great cereal Trix was when it actually had shapes. And then again, you guys will never know why Corey ended up breaking up with Topanga, or why Topanga ended up breaking up with Corey, but that's something completely different I will hit on later. Now, Trix was just a great cereal, and it really, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, it really did disappoint me when they actually started making the little colorful balls instead of the shapes of the fruits, because I grew up with that. You can't change something I grew up with. I mean, you can, but It's just, don't do it. Just don't do it. So with tricks being changed, I want to continue, before I get pissed off, I want to continue on with TV. TV was fantastic back then. From Real Monsters to Hey Arnold to Boy Meets World. Now, Boy Meets World was a great show. Whoever did not grow up in the 90s may not know what kind of a show Boy Meets World was. Now, if you are 10 maybe, you're watching Girl Meets World. Girl Meets World is a spin-off of Boy Meets World. Now, I grew up with What's-Her-Face's father and mother, Corey and Topanga. They were the main characters in Boy Meets World when I was growing up, along with Sean, Eric, Mr. Feeney, and everybody else. Now, it was a great show because it definitely had you learn a lot of things about life. It was funny. It was definitely funny, from Eric being all the serious older brother in the beginning to Eric being the completely off-the-wall goofball older brother later in the season. Now, it was a great TV show because, one, it always made you laugh. It definitely gave you some life lessons, from Corey getting drunk and everything when Topanga broke up with him, to Topanga proposing to Corey when they were graduating. Now, I don't want you guys, researching Boy Meets World because you guys should already know. And speaking of TV, I want to hit on the topic of Kel. If you don't know who Kel is, I'm going to say Kenan and Kel, and hopefully some of you will know what the hell I'm talking about. Kenan and Kel were absolutely great back in the 90s. They were just this hit comedy team that was part of Nickelodeon. They were on Figure It Out, and they even had their own TV show. They were also part of the TV show from Nickelodeon, All That. But you guys will never understand why Kel was so obsessed with orange soda. Then again, I never quite understood that either. But Kenan and Kel are one of my favorite pastimes because I grew up watching them. I grew up watching them on Figure It Out, where they got slimed. I grew up watching them on All That. And speaking of All That was the Nickelodeon version of Saturday Night Live, because they had these skits and they had celebrities being a part of the show. Now, if you go watch All That, they had quite a few seasons. The older seasons are what I am referring to, because the older seasons were better. They were better. The newer seasons, I don't know when they actually stopped making the TV show, but the newer seasons aren't all that great to me, because I grew up with a specific genre of All That, and that's how I wanted them to keep making them. And they changed it in a way where they added, new characters, and I kind of got tired of that kind of comedy, so I just got tired of watching it until they stopped making it, which I was so excited for. Woo woo! So, with TV on the mind, I'm going to hit you with a TV show that you might have been watching right now. Hell, you might have another tab open of this TV show while you're watching me. Hell, you might be recording it on the TV while you're watching me. Now, the thing that I'm going to be mentioning is Power Rangers. No! Not the Power Rangers that you're watching now! That's crap! Sorry about that outburst. I'm very serious when it comes to Power Rangers. No, but I meant the Power Rangers that I grew up with. The Power Rangers where Tommy was the Green Ranger and the White Ranger. And I did end up watching Dino Thunder, and he was the Black Ranger. I'm talking about the Power Rangers where they had Lord Zed. They had Rita. They had Putties. And I'm not quite sure what Putties really were. I just went with it. But it was a really, really fun show to watch when you were a kid because it had a lot of action. It just definitely had some great, well, not really great storylines because it was such a kid show. But they had a little love scenario between Tommy and Kimberly. Now, they also came out with a Power Rangers movie. And if you guys want to pause this video, go into Google, type in Power Rangers the movie, then you'll be able to see it. But yeah, I grew up with Tommy being the Green Ranger. I grew up with him being the White Ranger. The Green Ranger was the evil Ranger to begin with. Rita cast a spell on Tommy, making him, evil. And she gave him a power coin that allowed him to morph into the Green Ranger. Her evil Green Ranger, to be precise. Now, eventually, Tommy, they eventually took the spell off Tommy. The Power Rangers took the spell off Tommy. And they eventually made him into the pure White Ranger. I say pure because he wasn't evil anymore. So he ended up becoming the White Ranger. And throughout the seasons, the leader of the Power Rangers, well, the original leader of the Power Rangers, Jason, was the Red Ranger, and he eventually becomes the Gold Ranger. I'm not going to give too much away because I can talk a lot about it, because it was my favorite show when I was a kid. It really, really was. But if you want to go Google Power Rangers 1990s, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. You'll definitely have a better understanding of what the show is about instead of you just watching your shows that you're watching now. But actually, go Google it right now because I want you guys to see how much better it was. Honestly, it was better. It really, really was. It really, really was. It was. Believe me! With Power Rangers on the mind, let's go to the one show that everybody has been wanting me to talk about. Pokemon. That's right. I'm going to say Pokemon. Because Pokemon is what I do on my channel. It's what many of you do on yours. Now, Pokemon was a great, great, great show. I actually got more into the video games than I did the show. If I remember correctly, I did not have the channel that Pokemon was on. I was able to watch a few episodes when I went over to friends' houses or whatever. But I more got into the video games, like with Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue. And I also traded the cards. I do have a lot of Pokemon cards. That I've been meaning to try and get rid of us, but I can't ever get rid of them. Just like herpes. And Pokemon was a lot of fun. If you don't really know what the hell I'm talking about, then get off my channel. No, I need you. Stay! Outburst number 2. But no, in all seriousness, you should already know what Pokemon are. Because they have video games, they have cards, they have plushies, they have TV shows, they have movies, they have clothing, they have food, they have everything. So if you don't know what Pokemon is, then you're either dead or you're old, like me. Now let's move forward. We talked about Power Rangers Boy Meets World. Pokemon. Let's go on to actually handheld things. Let's talk about Pogs. Pogs may have actually been made in the late 80s. But I collected them in the 90s. That's why they're on this video. But Pogs were just fun. They were just something you could trade with, just like the Pokemon cards, just like marbles, just like bananas. Pogs. Pogs were great, just because you could trade with them, trade them. You can't really trade with them because they're not living things. It's not like you have like 2 keys and you can be like, hi, I want to trade with you. Okay, I'll trade with you. But no, Pogs were just something to pass the time. They were something to take your mind off of life. They were something that had designs on them. They had yin-yangs, they had dragons, they had fairies, they had just a lot of just prints, just pictures on them. There was actually a game, if I'm not mistaken, there was a game that you could play with them. I'm not sure what it was, I never played, I traded. But no, there was a game that you could play, and I'm not sure what it was. After this video, I might have to go into Google and Google Pogs, because I'm kind of interested in seeing what that game is. But we're gonna wrap things up right now. So, if you enjoyed this video, then please make sure you leave a rating, because I live off those. I live off your likes. I'm running out of likes. I need them to live. I need them. Help me! Outburst number 3. But in all seriousness, guys, you guys are absolutely great, and I do love you all. But if you like this video, then I want you guys to leave a rating. I want you guys to RCS, rate, comment, subscribe, because I would like to do more of these videos, because this video is really, really fun. I'm going to be learning more about Camtasia and kind of seeing what I can do with it, because I want to bring you guys more entertaining videos, because I had fun doing this. So if you guys want to see me do more videos, then absolutely do nothing, because I'm going to bring them anyways. Okay? So love you. Mwah. Bye.